Okay, here's another full commentary PvP video for one of the matches in the Jin domain. This is a pretty short one. There's some interesting fights that happen here, and there's a warrior that actually plays pretty well too. I'm just going to walk you through some of the elements here. I'm going to pause along the way instead of doing it twice like I did the last one. As usual, as I'm running out, I pulled out the Earth Elemental. You've heard me say this probably before, and got my Earth buff, and you can see I'm in the process of switching to Scepter and Focus. When you play this map, a lot of times everyone likes to run to the center node. A thief or someone will run to the far node. So in this case, in the lower right hand corner, you see my cursor. This is the far node. Someone's already warped down there and is tapping that one on the other team. And our entire team of nooblets are all heading here, which is fine. It's going to be fun. And this over here, no one's tapped yet. So a lot of times what happens is you've seen in other maps, when there's a central node in the middle, everyone just wants to run and zerg and have a big fun, crazy zerg fight in the middle. And what I usually try to do is pick off someone in the back. That will reduce the number of people in that fight, and then I'll focus on air affecting people in the middle. So let's see how this pans out. So you've got someone on the other team that's already warped ahead, and you turn a corner. Like, okay, great. Oh boy, I can't stand this. So this is your Necromancer pet farm build. Hey, if you're having fun with it, do it. They have so many pets. You'll find a lot of times in this map, I'm accidentally targeting pets. I'm not nuking them, but you've got to cycle through pets. I cycle through nearest target here. This guy's heading off. I also notice these guys are in the same guild together, so if you're in that guild, and if I say anything about your character, don't think I'm making fun of you. I mean, you guys are playing together as a team. That's cool. So I'm like, okay, well, let's just throw it on the Necro in the back. So I signated the Necro, but it's not enough to stop him. I'm not going to be able to put the Earth. So I'm thinking to myself, you know what, let me just go see if there's anyone else that's lagging behind that's coming. So there's no one else. So I'm like, okay. I still got my original target. That's a pet. And this is the warrior. He actually played pretty well. So I go after him. He's not damaged yet. So people are engaged, the other guys, and you can see back here in the back, someone's half dead already. Some of my team's half dead. So my goal is to start putting some damage on the warrior. I play a warrior, and I know all the different warrior builds, except for probably the Berserker build. So this is the great situation for the Elementalist, this fire build. I mean, this is everyone's all packed together. I'm just now dropping my area effective building on here. A lot of people are being damaged. So let's just start getting, I don't even need to target anyone. I can just start bombing this area. The rest of my team, I have some melee reapers that are in there having fun. So no one even targets me. I'll jump up here a lot into this weed-laden flower bed. It gives me, guess what, a pillar for line of sight, this tree trunk, this palm tree. So it's interesting. The warrior's playing, I believe he's playing a greatsword longbow build. I play a dual sword longbow condition build on my warrior, and it's kind of gimpy, but hey, it's still fun. But he actually plays pretty well. Like, give this guy some credit. That's not an easy build to play. I mean, greatsword's great, but the longbow is tough. You move slow. They changed the tactics a long time ago where you don't get the movement speed unless you're doing melee. And as soon as you switch to longbow, you give up the melee movement speed, so it's not fun. So we got someone almost dead here, someone else really damaged, and of course thousands of random pets running around everywhere. This guy here's almost dead. So the warrior on their team is probably like, this isn't working out very good for him. Now my instincts were telling me, this is something that's kind of weird, my instincts were telling me there's not everyone here. Like, where is everyone? This isn't everyone. There was like 4 of their team and only 1 or 2 of our teams and me. There's someone else missing. So I kind of do this like, where is everyone? And lo and behold, here comes someone on my team. One of these Flopsy Asura. Like, someone else must be missing. So this is why I pull out of this area here. And then I go back and reevaluate the fight, because I had confidence that the rest of my team was going to take these guys out, or someone's going to disengage. But part of my instinct was telling me, like, hey, we're missing some people. Was it a thief that went down in the beginning and capped that node? Where are they now? So I'm like, okay, opportunity. So Proofin from Pwned, Professor title, just goes running at high speed past me. I think they're playing some kind of a ranger build. I don't know what the ranger build symbol for this one. I play a core ranger. So like, okay, we'll throw a few dots on them. They're just going to take off. So they're going to take off, avoid that. Like, okay, they're just going to try to cap the node. This is an interesting situation. So it's just the ranger, it's just me, and they're going to tap the node. They're thinking it's important to get that second tap. That's pretty smart. I'm hoping to bait them to use on their abilities to do my missile reflect on them and have them damage themselves on me. But they do a really odd situation. They just kind of white swing me once and tap me, and then I just stay at max range. Try to get their attention here. They got their greatsword out, so they have to switch. Leaps forward. Switch to bow, pop me once. I'm like, okay, good. Now they got the bow equipped, so they can't switch back to their greatsword for a little while. So there's a rotation you can do with the ranger where you like hit someone with a big strike. I think it's like maul or something, and then you hit them with the hilt pommel, and then you hit them with maul again. It's pretty nasty. It can stun you and blow you up really quickly. So in my mind, I'm like, this is great. Let me just switch to earth, and let me get down here. Shot missed again just from strafing, and I'll turn my reflect on. So this is my reflect. So any projectile coming at me is going to reflect back and hit the ranger. The ranger is like, oh, that's okay. I'm just going to do area effect on the ground, so it doesn't really benefit them. So there's a roll for an evade. And now they're doing their channel ability. So now that the channel ability is coming out, which hits pretty hard, I'm able to get the first signet off of them. I get punted, which is pretty smart. I'll have a ranger. I'll show you how I play it. I used to punt a lot by using a different order. I don't want to get nailed here, but this is just the signet. So they only have 4 stacks of signet fire damage on them, and they're almost half dead. And all I'm doing is run around being defensive. So I'm like, this is great. All I got to do now is root them, and I can switch back to fire, and they're going to blow up. But they get this really lucky evade off. Check this out. Do you see that? It's like, oh, it's like 200 milliseconds away from getting them rooted. They would have been so dead. Let's just go back to this part here. Let you see it again. It's hilarious. This happens so much. That's what makes their PvP really exciting. Sometimes it's just a tenth of a second. A tenth of a second that makes a difference here between trying to get this signet off on them and them evading. Just probably because I'm running at them. If I wasn't running at them, they probably wouldn't do that. So because they're doing this move here, and I'm switching to fire, which puts everything on a global cooldown. And I wanted to get my signet on, and I couldn't get it to go off, so my signet wouldn't go off because, and they're just bailing on the node. I'm like, okay, well, see you later, proof them. Or maybe it's Professor Fun, who knows. So those are fun little fights. I mean, that person's just, they're going back to rejoin their team. They're probably playing with Discord. They're working together, soloing an Elementalist off on a node that they turned. I have to waste, 20 seconds turning the node back, so they accomplish something that's smart. Now, my choice here is to go left. The reason why I do this is my starter side, so coming this way, I'm less likely to bump into randoms. And it's just kind of, okay, what's the situation? There's all the pet farm, right? The Necromancer pet farm. I only see 2 green names. One of them is a regular character on my team. Another one is we've got 2 of these necros in our team. You see these guys upper left, and Mini Waffles is in there too. So like, okay, let's go in here. There's the warrior again, and you can see this guy here is almost dead. And the warrior sees me, and I see the warrior. The warrior's like, I'm gonna shoot you. So this is funny because I go ahead and signet the warrior, who he dodge rolls away from it immediately. He was gonna do an area effect burning ability in my area, so I'm going straight over to my palm tree as usual. Now he's got junk all over him, and he's still down there with the 2 Necro Reapers who are going to have a good time. One of them's in Necro form. Actually, no, it's not a Reaper. That's the dot build. The other one, Misery, is a Reaper, I'm pretty sure. So the warrior disengages on that. So he's wasted one of his abilities. He didn't pull it off. I got the signet off on him. He's got 5 stacks of fire on him because no one else in the team's got fire. He's taking a lot of damage, and he can't get to Greatsword, and he's kind of in trouble. They just use his healing signet. And he uses his sword to get out of there. So he uses his sword ability to get out of there. Now he's back over in range near me. So I decided just to throw this down, just to keep him at bay, keep pressure on him. He's still going. So this guy here is almost dead. This guy, I decided to switch to him, get some burning on him, and get him finished off. So the warrior tries this charge on to get out of there. He's doing a lot of movement. He does. You'll watch later on when he's playing. He's doing a lot of his movement ability. He probably has bull charge and things like that on his signet bar, or whatever you call that bar over here to the right, for a lot of mobility. But it's kind of wasted. Now he's got a lot of people on him, so there's really no way that anyone's going to live through having 3 people on you, and the PvP doesn't prove anything. So those 2 get dropped. So the 2 Necros on my team did a good job. I was just, now this is a good one. This is a typical situation I really like doing. Watch this one and I'll comment afterwards. Okay, let's go back in time with this one. Well, they're almost dead. One more tick will get them. Now, I have the Reaper Necro helping on this one. So as usual, Fire Signet, then Earth Signet. That's to get them rooted. Right off the bat, you got a 1500 burning going. This is the a flying necro, right? Just in time for this to land. Now he's hitting me. He's using Ghostly Claws, which is a ranged axe, usually axe focus offhand ability. I use it in my Reaper build. It's pretty fun. It makes this nasty like thump, 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 thump noise. It's really cool. It puts a lot of vulnerability on you, and it's part of a vulnerability-based build. But they're not meleeing me, and they're rooted in place, and they're about to get this bomb dropped on them. So there's the bleed 768 tick. The 2170, 723, 2290, 741. These things are ticking really quickly here. And in the last little bit, kills them. And little Asura comes in there to scrape the bottom battle. This is just another situation where someone else on my team playing Reaper is fighting Mesmer, and he pretty much has under control. I just kind of come in to help a little bit. And nothing really I do here to contribute or make any major difference. Just help finish the person off. So I don't know if you noticed that, but when someone, every class and every race, when they actually die in a down state, they make a certain yell. Listen to this one. So you know immediately, like, they're done. So you should actually memorize the sounds of the death yell for all the different classes, so you know the moment you hear it. You don't need to look and see if they're really dead. Like my teammate's still back there, like, nuking him. This is interesting. This is foolhardy looking, right? So you got, you know, there's the warrior who's played pretty well so far, lots of mobility, and then you got all this happening. You see one green name. So normally you would think, what am I doing running into this crowd, right? The reason why they're doing this is because this Necro is almost dead on my team. So he's going to get dropped. So the Necro's dead. This is one of these is a Mesmer illusion. Okay, this is probably the real player, and then the warrior's in there with his great sword. I'm just throwing a few dots out. I'm not blowing anything yet. But in my mind, this is easy money. I actually ignore the warrior and run right past him, who's got one of the new outfits on, by the way, which looks cool, and go straight for this Mesmer, who goes into this invisibility mode, which drives me batty. I'm going to have to play a Mesmer one day to figure this out. So they go invisible, and it summons an additional illusion. So in my mind, I'm like, okay. And good thing I did that, because I had my camera stuck up my butt. My wife gives me a hard time about it all the time. And so Tenacious Rampager, the Necro who died earlier, comes whipping up with his pet farm. So I got out of there just in time. So there he is. So there's the Mesmer who's dropped from the bleeds and the burn. So this is the Mesmer, the other Mesmer. He's down now. So the warrior and I are looking at each other again. He's going, okay, maybe, maybe not. There's a lot going on. And I'll do that a lot. I'll like turn away. I'm kind of hoping the person will chase me. But he doesn't. He goes back into the fray. So I've got two more teammates have arrived now. So this is probably the two Necros probably playing together. Misery and Varden. So all that monkey business going on. So this is a good situation to start AR affecting and get rid of some of these pets. So I'm just bombing this area over here. While trying to stay at max range and staying near some geometry, because as people start, everyone likes to strafe around and run around. I mean, if there's a fight, people like to run around. They don't like to stand still. And they want to make it confusing and hard to target. And if people are trying to click on you, I use a keybind. So in my mind, like, okay, let's cycle through the pets and try to get a target on that guy. There, we got a target on him. And this fight just kind of rolls all the way around the corner here. It's kind of hilarious how they don't even realize. I'm on the upper ground here, and I just get to freely nuke everybody. So this is just going to be a slaughter fest. Watch this. You know, the Reaper build, it hits so hard with the white swings when the Reaper form, Necromancer, two-handed Reaper build. It's nasty, and people underestimate they can freeze you in place and just wipe you out. This is this Guardian ability on the ground. There's 2 of them on the ground. That's just a lot of damage from my team dumping out there. I don't know why Proof and the Professor comes running in here, probably save boyfriend or something, thinking they're going to get a res off on this with this huge crowd of people around. They just kind of sacrifice themselves. And, you know, people died earlier. It's been about 30 seconds. They're going to be coming back. Here's our warrior friend again. He wants to get someone. So this is interesting. He's almost dead and aggressively wants to leap to me and start jumping all over me. He's got 1,800 tick of fire on him, 5 stacks of that, and bleeds on him. He's got the leftover Necromancer chilled on him, which he doesn't care about because only 2 stacks of it. I can't believe he doesn't die here. There must have been something that he's running that he doesn't die. I'm like, what? So he's charging me again. He must have like 7 health left. He's trying to get out of dodge. I can't believe he does this. He comes up for me again and decides to switch to his longbow as opposed to staying with the 2-handed sword. And I'm pretty much at full health. So he threw his burning dot on the ground, but he interrupted it with his dodge roll, so he didn't actually get that off. Now, this is a move that you can do, which will immobilize you in place. It's one of the bleeds in the longbow build. I play that build on my warrior. So he's rooting me in place, probably going to switch to greatsword or use something to charge me. Yeah, try to whirl through me, but he missed. Let's see if he's healing here. It looks like healing coming. A little bit of healing, not much. So he switched back to the bow again, which I don't know why. And he's like, screw this. And he's just kind of run away, but there's nothing he can really do. He's using all his abilities to get out of there and switches back to the bow again. Yeah, it's just too much damage. A lot of weapon switching on that warrior. This is interesting. This is a trick that, you know, when someone's in a down state, the warrior has a pretty nasty little rock throw they can do, and I know that because I play a warrior. And so I actually switched to Earth and put immunity on to make sure those ticks drop and the rock throws don't hit, and then summon the water elemental. And then steal the heal from the water elemental. And did you see that? Let's go back a little bit. No. They're mad. Do you see that? So I was being popped with rapid fire, which is one of the ranger abilities, so this magnetic reflect will reflect those damages back to him. So I'm getting zerged here. And I decided not to do much with just line of sight a little bit and see how well they move. Use my signet to try to get out of there. This is 3 people on me at once. They were just wasting tons of time doing this. And I'm just going to put my little downstate dot on this guy. Watch this health. He got 11 stacks of bleed on him. One thing about the downstate bleeds that stinks is the damage, as soon as I die, is no longer modified by my power and my condition bonus. So it's only ticking for 112 there. But look what it's ticking for here. He'll go invisible so he can try to finish me, like a rogue does, or a thief. So that's a bleed right there. 448, 826, 1200. So just building and building. 1298, 1136, 2000 at one point. But the moment you die, it goes down to 112. So that's the one disadvantage of any condition build is when you're in a down state, that one condition move doesn't hit for anything. It's useless. Once you die, that is. Just outnumbered. Now, where's that big Zerg that was down before? They're coming, I'm still sure. It looks like they got killed by my team. The two, those two players played really good on my team. They were getting a lot of kills, and that's the end of that one. It's a fun map. It's a fun one. Some neat fights in there. Warrior did some neat things. The two Necros on my team were fantastic. You can see this guy here on my team, this Varden guy. He did great. Only had one death. Got the little Zerg there at the end. Pretty fun stuff. So there's a lot of versatility with that build. You can area affecting when you need to area effect. One-on-one when you need to one-on-one. A lot of survivability when someone tries to focus you and they keep going through the rotation and switching weapons and trying everything in the book to kill you. So that gives you a lot of diversity of what you can do. You don't feel like you go up there and got stunned and blown up, which is actually one of the things that's really risky about playing your pure DPSer. Okay, that's it for this video. We'll talk to you later.